Hello. Hey, everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat. Aloha. Great to see you. Hello to all the members there as well. Thank you all for being here. This is going to be the last live from Hawaii. I am flying back to Minnesota today. So we got to soak it in. We got to soak it in. Got to soak in the last of the air, the seawater, the sun, the magic of the Aina, just all of it. All of it. And I'm glad you guys are here for it. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news that has the internet buzzing. We also chat about my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family. And throughout the week, I do interviews here and there. So when you do hit the subscribe button, make sure you set the notification bell as well, so you get those when we go live. And if everyone here could go show some aloha to that like button and hit it right now so we get even more notifications out, that would be fabulous. Aloha, everybody. I'm already missing it. I'm dying to get home because I miss Tony incredibly. But I'm absolutely going to miss this as well. I'm looking at the water right now. It's pretty amazing. And we've had tons of great family time. I got to hang out with my sister, lived in Minnesota, my youngest sister, for a couple of years, moved back to Hawaii, and she has 2 toddlers. And I have not hung out with toddlers in a long time. And I realized, hanging out with toddlers is like what I imagine a music festival would be like, right? There's music, there's lots of twirling going on, there's some nudity, there was even some peeing outside. One of them peed on my slipper. I imagine that's what a music festival would be like. And I think hanging out with toddlers is about the same thing. So maybe I'm not missing anything. All right, we are going to talk about all kinds of things, including more, Tom Cruise just can't help but keep himself out of the news. His people are doing double time to try and outrun the news about Suri Cruise turning 18 and bringing to attention the fact that she has no relationship with her father. Also, the Bad Cadet author, Catherine Spallino, had a great article in the Daily Mail as well. He's trying to outrun all those things, and it's really not working. We're going to talk about some protest news in Los Angeles. We're going to jump over to Austin, where there's some big things coming up and a few little things added in there. So let's get started. Let's go look at this clip from Facts Verse, which is a very large YouTube channel. And they did a little thing that was pretty interesting about celebrities who pretty much really hate Tom Cruise. But there was this little story in there with Seth Rogan and Judd Apatow that's interesting, where they reshare what Tom Cruise, it's a comparison that Tom Cruise made with Scientology positioning, one might call it, in the world of public relations, where he tried to position Scientology with the Nation of Islam, and he thought that was somehow a good thing, and it of course backfired. But let's take a look at this insanity. Hold on a second here. This is going to be a little 2-parter, but let me make sure I got the right one pulled up here.
Seth Rogen's Scientology story. Seth Rogen, known for his comedic roles in films like Knocked Up and Superbad, shared a story about a somewhat unnerving encounter he and director Judd Apatow had with Tom Cruise in 2006 during a 2021 appearance on The Howard Stern Show. According to Rogan, the meeting with Cruise began with a discussion about movies, but eventually shifted to the topic of Scientology. Rogan recounted that Cruise seemed to compare the media's treatment of the controversial religious leader Louis Farrakhan to the way Scientology is portrayed in the press. Rogan recalled Cruise's words verbatim, saying, quote, "It's like with Scientology. If you let me just tell you what it was really about, just give me like 20 minutes to really just tell you what it was about."
Okay, so first off, somehow Tom Cruise thinks that this is a good idea to position Scientology, that, Scientology, it's misunderstood, like Louis Farrakhan. That is the worst possible positioning. It just really surprised me. I was like, what are you talking about? And basically they weren't having it. And the video goes on to talk about how they gave each other there was this exchange, there was a look. Are you hearing this crazy? Are you hearing this crazy? But the other interesting thing is the fact that if that is correct, that Tom Cruise was going to take 20 minutes to explain Scientology means he could be the first Scientologist to actually explain Scientology and not just say, buy a book, buy a book, buy a book, buy a book, buy a book. Interesting. There's more to the story there, but the link is down below where you can see it in full. And links down below in the description of this video of all the videos that we are going to be chatting about. JDSA, thank you for becoming a member. Hip, hip, hooray. Great to see you here, Jay. We're going to be looking at a couple clips coming up in Los Angeles. Specifically, the conversation you had with the elderly gentleman. That was very, very, very enlightening. Nancy, I'm skipping that second clip. Or am I? No, I'm not. I have it. Okay, I thought I got rid of this, but check this out. This is a little bit more from that interview about with Seth Rogan, relaying what happened with Tom Cruise in Scientology.
The actor emphasized the peculiar wording Cruise used and questioned whether it was a positive way to frame the discussion. Rogan and Apatow reportedly shared a look during this very loaded moment, hoping they could navigate the situation without any negative consequences for declining Cruise's offer to discuss Scientology further. Rogan humorously remarked that if the Church of Scientology could successfully recruit someone like Tom Cruise, he stood little chance of resisting their influence. Fortunately, Apatow steered the conversation back to movies, allowing them to avoid any potential awkwardness or pressure.
Hopefully Tom Cruise took that hint. But can you just imagine it, right? Tom Cruise is all like, let's talk about Scientology. If you can just give me 20 minutes of your time, like he's some kind of Amway salesman. Oh, to be a fly on the wall, I'm telling you. Okay, growing up in Scientology, Aaron did an interview with Confident Chris, who, if you guys have been following my channel, you know, is one of my favorite to watch, one of my favorite live streamers and protesters of Scientology out there near Big Blue. And it was hilarious. I'm going to share how it started, and you'll have to check out the full interview. Link down below. Totally worth a watch.
I see you're hanging out with some duckies over there.
Hey, Ron, is that you?
Hey.
How you doing, man? I'm over here, man. My bad.
How you doing?
I'm just in the jacuzzi, man, but it's kind of cold. But how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Doing pretty good. Hopefully I'll see you in LA next week when I'm there.
Hell yeah. If I'm around,
well,
you'll see me.
I can't believe we've never done a chat before, so I'm glad we're getting a chance to do this.
I'm also glad, man. Thanks for having me here, man. We appreciate everything you really done for us, man.
Well, it's truly my pleasure.
Look at that, just cruising in the jacuzzi with the little duckies. He just cracks me up. I thought it was so great. Aloha, everybody. Thank you for the alohas there in the chat. And I saw that one comment. Solomon's on his way to Hawaii with his family. How exciting. He can pick up where I left off. I also want to say thank you to my mods today who are helping out. I know that Nancy's here. And did I see, and Dip Me and Glitter is here. That's fabulous. Thank you guys for doing everything that you do. All right. Now, you know, we talk a lot about children in Scientology, the recruitment of children in Scientology, how children should not be auditing adults in Scientology because of the content that comes up. In Scientology, the belief is that you are not a child. You are a big being in a little body. I remember that growing up as a child that wasn't really a child. But what does Scientology themselves say about it? Because there's been a lot in the news. There's been a lot in protests about the inappropriateness and abuse that child auditing can lead to, the oddly sexual questions in interrogations that can be asked of children, as well as children who might be delivering those techniques to adults, and how, you know, it's just not okay. Children cannot consent. That is a message that we share over and over and over again. I wanted to share with you something straight from Scientology themselves. Excuse me. So, you know, next time they try to like make it like, no, we're not really doing that. Like, there's not a lot of children in Scientology. If you hear that from a Scientologist, let's take a look at what Scientology themselves say. And they say, this is right from Scientology.org. Can children participate in Scientology? How? Yes, many children do, and there are no age restrictions as to who may participate in Scientology auditing or training. Some Scientology churches conduct courses and study programs specifically designed for young people. Children below the age of majority, which I had to look that up. I'm like, what do you mean below the age of majority? What is that? Basically, it's under the age of 18. Children below the age of majority must first obtain written consent from their parents or guardian to participate in Scientology services. Like adherents of other religions, Scientologists are very proud when their children join them in the practice of the religion. Now, that is true. That is true. Scientologists are very proud because they don't see it as abuse or as in creating an environment that could foster that. In putting their children in a position of being not just awkward, but even damaging. I've shared with you guys that when I was 16, I was training as a staff member in Los Angeles for the Hawaii organization. Shout out Wilbur there in Hawaii. And one of the things I had to do during my training was, and remember I was 16 years old, was to handle grown men on the fact that they were self-pleasuring when they should not have been, when they were getting Scientology auditing or were a fellow trainee. The self-pleasuring was not allowed. And yeah, absolutely disgusting. And it was uncomfortable. But I got to be honest with you, at the time, even though it made me incredibly uncomfortable, I thought, well, those are my TRs. My training routines are out. I need to get my TRs in. I need to be capable, because L. Ron Hubbard says at the beginning of every major course in Scientology, there is a message that's repeated. And a part of that message is, we rather have you dead than incapable. That's word for word. So those are the kind of things that happen with children in Scientology, and why we share that message that children cannot consent. Much, much more worse than that happens. But that was just a taste of my personal experience being a teenager and having to correct men from, and you have to get all the details. You can't just it can't be this general idea. You need to get the exact time, place, form, event. So you have to it's gross. It's really gross. Free Xenu Project. This isn't gross. Thank you for making it rain. 5 Scientology Life After a Cult memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that support. I love that. I love that Jay's a member too. That's so awesome. I'm fangirling. All right, now let's jump over to, did you guys catch the interview that Oh No Nora did with Mark Bunker? Wise Beard Man, as he was known before in the community. It was fabulous. So much information there. We're just going to look at just a little bit of a clip from it.
Okay, it's on his website. We'll just attack the website and whatever. But now in 2024, these guys are live streaming. We're live streaming right now. And thousands of people are going to see this live. And then tens of thousands of people are going to see it on the replay. And they do not understand that. No, they don't understand it. They just say, I asked Jessica Pomadessa, if the first time you went there when Scientology was trending on TikTok, if they had walked out and done a goofy, viral dance to the latest bop, would you still be doing this? And she's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It would be a different story, because they just can't go with it. They can't go with it, And so they did a lot of harassment to you. You're still here. You haven't left, and it's they don't get it, because the truth is so important.
That is for sure. Scientology, the C organization, they do not understand internet culture, if you will. They don't understand short form content. They don't understand viral and trending dances, just this whole thing. That's part of why they get so much pushback. It's loosen up. But I thought that was interesting what she said, because if you think about it, Scientology, as per usual, created their own enemy when it came to William Good and the way that they responded to him when he showed up in front of the Hollywood Testing Center. And all of this started, was it last fall or so? They just continue to create their own antagonism and poke the bear. Nora also makes a good point. Wise Beard Man Mark Bunker has been around for decades, despite some fair gaming and harassment that he experienced. Those things don't work. People are on the internet showing their face. You guys know what my name is. You know what state I live in. You see me. There's no fear of like, oh, they're going to find out who I am. And you know what? It's just dumb. It's so dumb. It cracks me up too, because like I was not that long ago, I think I accidentally doxed my own address here. But then and my son was like, you got to go blur that out. And I'm like, okay, well, I will do that. I will get to that. But I had to remind him, you know, Jared, there was a time not that long ago when we would take our names, our addresses, and our phone numbers, and we would put them in this giant heavy book, and we would throw it on the lawn of the neighbors. Now, we literally weren't the ones doing it. It was the phone company with all that information in there. And that was something that I had to realize, like, oh, that's right. I guess certain personal information is no longer considered in the current culture that we live in, that it's acceptable. It's acceptable that you don't have to share that. It would be a weird question to say, what's your address? Whereas back in my day, huddle in for a little back in my day. Back in my day, we used to go to this book, and that's how we would find people and look up their names and all that. But even I got hip to that. So I get it. You don't share people's home address and stuff like that, right? The whole doxing thing. I had to learn. Scientology doesn't learn. They don't understand internet culture. They don't understand live streaming. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Saul Goodman, did I see also that you became a member? Look at that. Hip, hip, hooray. Saul Goodman YT, I saw you out there protesting. In fact, I think I have a clip of yours too. Hey, the SP Chef, another lovely quote from Hubbard. You are only as useful as you can serve others. SP Chef, I got to catch up on your channel and see if you've done any more cooking lately. If you guys aren't already following the SP Chef, make sure you do, because he's got this great recipe for cookies and all kinds of stuff while he shares about Scientology. I absolutely love that. I love when things kind of do double duty. Guess who's back? KELLI COPTER. She is back in town. She did a I'm back update video the other day, and then she did this one. Speaking of Tom Cruise and his shenanigans, she did a whole video talking about how Tom Cruise and his dyslexia, his thoughts now on dyslexia. It's pretty eye-opening. Let's look at a little clip from that.
Now, today we are making a video not about Tom Cruise's best friend, but about Tom Cruise himself. I know. Now, I don't usually make videos about Tom because I find him kind of boring. But I stumbled across a video today that I just found really, really funny. And me and my dad were chatting, and he sent me this playlist of all these videos. And in it was Tom Cruise giving this lecture for applied scholastics. And in it, he's talking about how dyslexia is a false label, whatever the heck that means. So I thought we could have a little watch of it together if you guys would be up for that.
So KELLI goes on to watch this video and walk you through it and do a whole reaction video to Tom Cruise talking about applied scholastic and Scientology study technology, not just for children, but for adults as well. It's really good. I got a kick out of it. Learned a few things, definitely. So make sure you guys go check that out. I love when KELLI COPTER does a reaction video. I just can't help it. I cannot help but love it. All right. Speaking of Tom Cruise again, you know, like I said at the beginning, he has been trying to outrun this PR flap fiasco where it's being pointed out since Suri Cruise turned 18 that she ain't talked to her daddy in like a long time. And Tom Cruise made a choice to disconnect from his daughter on account of her mother, you know, being seen as a suppressive person. Because what did she do? What is the big crime? What did Katie Holmes do? Number one, she dared to leave Tom Cruise, walked away, waited till he was out of the country, fired the security staff, came in with her own, took that baby and left. She saved her child. That's what she did, and herself, because she was hip to what was going on with Scientology. Hey, Diane, more fun than sitting at home. Good to see you there. Pearl Snappy, I'm glad you're here because we're going to talk about Pearl Fest in just a little bit too. And maybe you can even chime in and share some things. If, in fact, if you can, Pearl Snappy, I'm going to throw a link up in the chat. And why don't you, if you can, why don't you join me and share a little bit about Pearl Fest when we get to that? So I just put that link in the chat. That's for Pearl Snappy, who also has been a member for 2 months. Love you back, girl. Hopefully you can chat. Did I put that link there? Did it go? Nancy, did it work? Oh, yeah, there it is. I see it. I see it. Yep. Okay, good. All right. So anyways, Tom Cruise, what we were talking about, Tom Cruise being a crap dad. Okay. So he by choice is not connected to Suri. He's not fooling anybody. If this man wanted to see his child, of all the Scientologists on the planet, this is the one who would be able to violate the rules about it. Let's be real. This is by choice, which is why for me, I think I just troll him so hard, because many Scientologists are forced to disconnect from their families if they have anything to say against Scientology, or if those family members choose to no longer practice Scientology. They then have to disconnect, because leaving Scientology is contagious. I mean, there is truth in that. You can't have people talking and sharing truths. Scientology doesn't trust their own members. Scientology doesn't trust their own members to go to the bathroom. When you're on course in a Scientology organization, you've got to sign out and in to go pee, to go to the bathroom. So if they don't trust their members to come back from the bathroom, and they do 3 to 5 roll calls a day for their staff to make sure they're all there, it's all you need to know right there. But let's take a look at this. This is a Daily Mail, who I was kind of surprised, because I thought they were just going to, we're just going to show these pictures now of Tom Cruise and his kids, his 2 kids. So here's what I found interesting about this. Inside Tom Cruise's bond with his extremely loyal son, Connor, 29, lives in a Scientology community in Florida, where he fishes and runs a meat shack, and is the only one of the star's 3 children who's openly close to his father. That's interesting to me. He's the only one of the 3 children who's openly close to his father. Extremely loyal. Lives in a Scientology community. Now, Bella lives in England, and she was doing Scientology training. I have always questioned, why is she in England? Why was she sent there to London years ago? Was it something she just decided? Or was it a situation of like with Tom Cruise's niece, who was seen on security cameras kissing a boy on his property when she was a teenager, and he banished her from the family for 2 years? Her own mother did not see her for 2 years because of this. I always wondered if it was a situation like that. If anybody knows the backstory of why Bella Cruz lives in the UK, let me know in the chat. And if you're catching this on the replay, no slacking, jump into those comments. You can also email me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. But that's kind of the thing. Like I said, I found that to be a little like, loyal, extremely loyal. Connor, who married in 2019, lives in Clearwater, where he has a low-key life. So he goes on to talk about how Connor denies that they're cut off from their mom, yet you don't ever see really anything with them together. Shows him he's really into the meats. I love the meats. I love a good barbecue. I love a good smoked meat. Looks like he loves fishing, that kind of stuff. So I guess he's living in the right place in Clearwater, out here doing all this stuff with his dad. But you see all this stuff's coming out now, like my other children, my loyal Scientology children. It's all such positioning. And it pisses me off, because I try to put myself in Suri Cruz's shoes, right? You've not heard from your dad, at least as far as we know, right? That we can see in the media. And now you're out there parading the other 2 kids and the extremely loyal one, right? Extremely loyal. The only one publicly hanging out with his dad. What is up with that? Hey, oh no, Nora, I'm so glad you're here. We just shared a clip of that amazing interview that you did with Mark Bunker, Wise Beard Man. That was so awesome. Anyways, link below to that full article if you want to read more about how loyal Connor Cruise is to his daddy. I guess you'd want to be, right? Especially if you're living in the belly of the beast there in Clearwater. Okay, let's go to the blue buildings, where there was just something a little weird that stood out. I don't know if you guys caught this. I don't know if I'm just reading anything into it. It's just there's weird things that happen at the blue building. So I always feel like it's worth a mention when we see it. And this is from Cuts E, who is a protester and live streamer out there. And there's like, you remember the window where it looked like the words help were in there and somebody had scraped it off? And there was kind of a bit of a mystery about that because it was very unusual for anybody to put anything in a window like that on these buildings. Well, now there's the mystery of the pole sticking out. I don't know what it is. I wanted you guys to look at it and see if you can tell what it is. Tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments what you think this is.
Guys, look at what is that, guys? See, guys, you see that? Look. Let me clean my camera lane right now. Let me clean my camera. I clean it up. See, guys, can you see this? Guys, see it? There's a pole coming out there. See, they're trying to break out of here or what? Look at this shirt. Send that to Jessica and Street. See that, guys? You see that?
It could totally be nothing. It's just weird. Is there a light on it? Is the light reflecting? Is it venting something? It's just weird. So I was really curious. I wanted to show it to you all. And you tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments if you're catching this on the replay. Yeah, it's really close, Jackie. It's really close to where the help sign was. It's really close to that. It's just weird. I don't, or are you venting? Like, what are you venting? Oh, the window's been broken since Easter. Okay, MD Media 18. That's interesting. Yeah, it's like they're venting something, but what? What are you venting? What are you venting? What are you doing in there? Maybe, you know what? They're making furniture, so they could be using like chemicals and they're just like venting it out. I don't know. It's just weird. But I think Suppressive Squirrel has the best explanation. It is a BT avoider. I'm sure it repels the body thetans because remember, this is right by the Advanced Organization of Los Angeles where they deliver the upper levels of the Bridge to Total Freedom. And on those upper levels, just as I did, you audit out those body thetans and you blow them off. Boom. You like getting rid of body thetans. You making it rain body thetans. They got to go somewhere, right? So is it something to get rid of body thetans? I don't know. That's right. Exiled New Yorker. Where'd that go? There you go. They're spraying for BTs. They're spraying for body thetans. Oh, Zippy, LRH homing beacon. Saul says it's where all the body thetans exit the building. It had to be something like that. I just knew that it had to be. There'd be sense. Sense is being made of it. Okay, let's go talk about JDSA, Denver J, over at the Blue Buildings. He was doing some really, really cool stuff. Let's take a look at that. But first, I want to say, Susan, thank you for being a member for 2 months, and we love you right back. Thank you so much for that. Laurie Plays, Making It Rain, gifted 5 Scientology Life After Occult memberships. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you, Laurie, for that support. Love you. We're about to cover a couple clips. You're out in Austin. Real excited about that. So, but let's go take a look at Jay because he had a great sign, was getting some hogs. Let's check it out.
You can leave. We can help. You can leave. We can help. You can leave. We can help. Yeah.
Love that, right? So Jay also, you know how he's got the nighttime. I become obsessed with the overnight security cam. Seriously obsessed. And you guys have too, because people send me a lot of clips from it, and keep doing it. Don't assume somebody sent me something, because we can't fit everything into the recap. So a lot of those calls get made based on how many people actually send it sometimes. So Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com, go ahead and send clips and timestamps. Tell me what I'm looking at. That's all very helpful. So Jay also got out and had a conversation with an elderly Sea Org member. Elderly in the abuse in the Sea organization is real. It does happen. And we've got a few clips kind of focusing on the elderly and raising the question of, are they okay? And I'm telling you right now, most of them don't know that they're in an abusive situation because they are indoctrinated to believe, like that quote earlier, right? You're only as valuable as you can serve others. We rather have you dead than incapable. This is Scientology. This is, LRH 101. How to be ultimately culty. Take a look.
Anderson, his daughter, really misses him. It's okay to leave Scientology. Y'all aren't clearing the planet.
I'm doing my job. I don't want to get you wet.
Oh, no, I understand you're doing your job, but you know that you're being forced to do this, right? Is this really what you thought you'd be doing at this point in your life? You know, it's okay to leave, right? Do you know about the Lisa McPherson story? Just Scientology is worse than you think, brother, and we all know it. So, no, I know you're trying not to get me wet, but we're trying to help y'all. Like,
I'm just doing my job. You can leave me alone.
Yeah, no worries. I understand what you're saying. It's just really hoping to remind you that your family misses you and your family loves you. Anderson, his daughter, really.
I love that he mentioned Phil Anderson too. That's Laura FM's dad, who is down there in the galley being kept from his daughter. Hidden away. Great conversation. Jay's just got such a great heart. Let's take a look right there at the blue buildings as well. We're going to look at Saul Goodman YT here on YouTube. Scientologists, we know that they're using this 302 PC, which is the code. It's an ordinance or a law about how it's a misdemeanor if you interrupt a religious service. In fact, we had a couple comments there. Cynthia is saying religious services means a meeting, gathering, or assembly of two or more persons organized by a religious organization for the purpose of worship, teaching, training, providing educational. The second part, providing educational services, conducting religious rituals or other activities deemed necessary by the religious organization for the exercise of religion. Now, I mean, Scientology is doing that. We got to give them that. They are training people in their religion. So I get how this is working. But what we've not seen are Scientologists really using that. And Saul caught this lady going by with this sign that she holds up about it, which I just thought was hilarious. But let's take a look.
You're loved. It's a cult. If you have to ask to leave, you're not free. What's that say? Let me see it. Hold on, I want to see what that says. Let me see what it says. Oh, okay.
See, California Penal Code Section 302. And I do believe it goes on to give the penal code about it being a misdemeanor if you interrupt religious services, which does include training, right? If there's, people gathering, blah, blah, blah. So are they handing these out to Scientologists? Like, I don't get the whole holding it up like that. Is it just to block the face? I mean, I'm curious about this. Like, are they handing it out? Did they email it to people and be like, hey, print this before you come, and then when you see the protesters, hold it up? It's kryptonite. It's kryptonite. It's kryptonite, like mentioning Natalie Webster to Sean Angelina. I mean, I don't know what that would accomplish, because I don't know. I don't know on that one. So you tell me what you guys think about that. Why would they have Scientologists be flashing it? I mean, the protesters already know. They have the signs all around. It's what Jay just got arrested for, the misdemeanor. So, they're really pushing hard on this. They really are. But it's weird. Exactly, Sue. Driving isn't a religious service. Exactly. You're not in there doing the religious service yet. You're not. You're on your way there. So, what are you trying to say? That people can't say stuff to you when you're in the car there? I don't know. It's just weird. This is a good one. Empty buildings. If you have to route out, you're not free. Exactly. And I love what Saul said too. If you have to ask permission to leave, you're not free. It goes back to not being able, Scientology had, at least back in my day, or I guess we got one more back in my day. So come on in for a back in my day. Back in my day, there were a list of books banned by Scientology that we were not allowed to read. The one that stands out the most to me was The Secret. the book The Secret was on there, and for some reason I always remember that one. Or maybe Scientologists are jealous that the protesters have all their signs, so they want to make their signs. And of course they misunderstand the assignment because nobody can read that wall of text, right? What is it they say on the internet? TLDR, too long, don't read, something like that. They don't get it. Make a big sign, or maybe a sign that says, I am practicing Scientology in my car. I am listening to an L. Ron Hubbard cassette tape. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, so let's go over to, I do believe this is Toronto. There's this great sign. I want to show this to you guys. Y'all sent this to me over in Toronto. Michelle did up this lovely sign of the children that the cult failed.
Can't see them there. There we go. Look at this. Children Scientology failed. Can you guys see this? Michelle, this is amazing. Look at them all. I'm going to hold it here for a minute. Tanya, Christina's saying hi. Christina says, hey. Isn't that beautiful? It really is. Incoming? So nice. Incoming car?
Hey, Tanya.
Oh, we know her. We know that car.
Great signs over there in Toronto. And there is something going on. I don't know if you guys know, today is the 9th, right? Is it the 9th? Is it the 9th? It is the 9th. Okay, today, y'all, I don't know if you know this, is the anniversary of Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. May 9th is one of Scientology's big holidays where they celebrate when Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, was released and came out. So it's another opportunity for them to have a propaganda event. Remember the other day when we saw, who did we see? Jay was out on L. Ron Hubbard Way, and he caught all of the Sea Org members out there on the street, and then they went running away when they saw Jay. It was probably part of what they were putting together for the propaganda for this event happening this weekend. So it sounds like in Toronto, and this might be happening all over, you guys, because usually they pre-record it, but sometimes this May 9th one they do locally. I don't know what's happening with it this year. I'm a little out of the know on that one. If anybody knows what's happening with the May 9th event, can you tell me in the chat? Tell me in the comments as well, because let's take a look at this over in Toronto. They are definitely having theirs this Saturday, which makes me think it's probably happening all over the place, and it's a great time to protest.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on, Kim. And it's going to be this weekend. So, anybody who wants to be out here, this is where we're going to be this Saturday. Woo! See, Kim, they're doing something in there too. That there's never anything in there. So you see what they got going on in there? I tried to get a little bit closer, but
They're setting something up. They are probably getting ready for their May 9th, their whole celebration of Dianetics event, another opportunity for where they get out that propaganda. May 9th is today, but the event is probably on Saturday. They don't usually do it on the day unless it ends on a Saturday. But today is the anniversary of Dianetics being released. So I think today's a great day. Every day is a great day to protest, but especially today. I'm just catching up on your comments here too. But yeah, KD, May 9th is today. Today is the actual thing. Let's go down here. Free Xenu Project. Thank you so much for that. When did the police start arresting people for offenses that are normally only a ticket? That's right. It is a misdemeanor. You can, I think if I read it correctly in California, though, it can be up to a year in jail and $1,000 fine. So they can really go at you. But, it's all Scientology has, really. Because what are they going to say? Everything, the protests, things that people have a right to do that. It's going to be interesting to see how that evolves now. Because Jay had mentioned when we had him on the channel the other day of doing a silent protest. And I think it's genius because you can't tell me that a bunch of protesters, visualize this, right? Whether you could do a silent protest, tape over the mouth, holding the signs. Where's the disruption? You're just walking up and down the street. Now, I'm not saying that wouldn't violate the you know, that 302 PC. I'm just saying that I think Jay is on to something. That's right. Oh no, Nora. Parking their car isn't a religious service. Even though for some Scientologists, maybe they have to conjure the spirit of L. Ron Hubbard to help them park, because we do notice that many of them are not the greatest drivers and they like to run red lights. We see it there coming out of the parking structure, and we have seen it in Portland. Case in point, cowboy guy, cowboy boots, cowboy hat man. What is his name? John. We saw that guy run a red light. It's crazy. But yeah, you were totally right about that. Totally right about that. All right. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Marlene. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that like button. Okay, so now speaking of Pearl Fest, let's take a little look at a video from Liz Ferris, who is in Austin. Liz Ferris is in Austin. Lori Plays is in Austin. Feral Cheryl on the Loose is in Austin. Cheryl and Lori Plays are from Clearwater. It's just, I love seeing people come together. We're going to look at a couple clips of them protesting in Austin already, but let's check in with Liz.
Friday, as far as I know, everybody is going to be down at the, I almost said SAC org, but let's be real, the Austin org. We have a few people coming in today, which are going to be surprises to you guys because you get to see them today. Because of course I was the only one. Well, Lori is here. We have Feral Cheryl. I can't wait to see them. Can't wait to get them a hug. I've met a couple people. The humidity is a killer. I'm telling you, like when I was sitting at the airport waiting for Pearl to pick me up, I'm sitting there dripping sweat, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not exercising. There's no reason that you should be sweating just standing here. But I did meet an amazing lady. She went to the university that is right by the Austin org, and she wanted to say what an amazing job is being done because it is not fair what's happening to the students. So that was super adorable. Friday, as far as I know, everybody is going to be down at.
So there is a lot happening this weekend in Austin for Pearl Fest, for which there is merch. I know you can find it on Liz Ferris's page if you go to her link to her merch shop. Also out there, like I was saying, is Lori Plays. And Lori had an interesting conversation with a couple of people. One was a young man who'd actually gone in there, watched a video, and bought a book. And so, you know, he had his toe dipped in that Scientology world.
Get rich, start a church. That's what he did.
That's crazy. I've been here before.
You've been inside? Did you do like the tests and stuff?
Oh, well, they gave me like, yeah, that little video thing that they put out there.
Oh, they showed you the movie? Yeah. Did they try to make you buy a book? Did you buy it?
I did. I know.
Did you read it?
No, I haven't read it.
Would you get Dianetics or what?
Yeah, I had got it because they had, I don't know, I was coming through one time and I was just curious to see what they were doing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand being curious. Yeah. But that's their whole thing is money, money, money. It's a money grab.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
I was actually looking into that because it kind of seemed like it kind of seemed weird and scammy-ish. It was like, I don't know, I was asking them 2 questions, like trying to trick them to see what they were getting at, like what's their motive behind it.
Right.
And I was asking them if they're nonprofit, and they claim to be, I guess. But,
no, they are absolutely for profit. Yeah. Yeah.
But thanks for letting me know.
Oh, you're welcome. No, David Miscavige is the current leader, and get rich, start a church. That's what he did.
Letting them know what the deal is. And I'm so thankful for that. I just hate seeing young people. He looks really young, but he also could be a college student. Some of those kids look real young, and they're still kids. They're still young. That brain is still developing. Absolutely. Okay, now, Feral Cheryl was there, which we see her out in Clearwater. I love that they're there in Austin. This is going to be so much fun to watch, having everybody together. And the proceeds from the Pearl Fest merch do help Pearl Snappy replace her equipment that was messed up when a rabid Scientologist, if I remember correctly, knocked it down. So let's pop in. This is a Feral Cheryl on the Loose, but in Austin.
I'm sorry. Okay, so what was your channel?
Hit Soul 505.
Hit Soul 505.
Mm-hmm.
At the Bench Guy 787 just started, and I'm gonna probably do another one for this purpose or the same one, but we're both supporting each other, and we're gonna get these people out of here.
Good for you. Yeah!
Get out of here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Just started here too. I don't know if you know, right? They started like when? When did they open? Like 4 months ago?
Oh, February. Late
February.
February.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
So y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to
Making friends, getting out there. I absolutely love it. Does anybody know what time things are kicking off in Austin? Sounds like Friday. They're going to be at graduation, I'm assuming, for Scientology graduation. If somebody knows what time, because I know Miss Kim was asking too. We were listening to Farrell Sherrow in the car last night, and my son thought she was a hoot. She's totally a hoot. Plus, you got to love the accent. But graduation is at a specific time. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Susan, for the reminder for everybody. Quit your slacking and hit that like button. We got to find out. We got to find out what time. Somebody has to know what time it is, but we will find out. Okay. While they were out there, Lori Plays had a conversation with an elderly staff member. I don't know if she's a SEA organization member or she's just a staff member there in Austin. And you guys, it was intense. It was. Check this out. This is a staff member outside Austin, and this is from Lori Plays.
Love to help you.
Hold on, let's start it from the beginning.
You have any Scientology stories you want to tell me about? No, not feeling it today? Are you happy with your life here?
I'm fine.
Yeah, would you like to be able to make your own choices though, instead of following suit? I mean, do you ever think of retirement and do you have like money set aside for yourself for retirement?
I don't.
Okay. I don't want to cause you any problems, but I want you to know that there are organizations out there that will help you if you need a place to stay, if you need a job that will actually pay you living wages. SPTVfoundation.org, and the number is 727-266-5797. I don't know if you can write it down or if you can remember it, but they
626-5797.
Yeah, it's 727-266-5797, and we would love to help you have your own life and set yourself up for the future. God bless you.
Oh my goodness. It is sad. And she's probably someone's going to be definitely having a conversation with her. She could been being polite, but she remembered that number, and hopefully it is something that she'll look up later. And if not now, maybe it's the first time she heard it, but when she hears it again and again and again, right? Even in marketing, right? How many times does a consumer have to see a message before they act? It used to be it was 3 times, but recently I heard it's like 7. So you have to hear it. You just have to hear it more than one time. And that's the beauty of these protests happening all over the country. And I mean, really all over the world, is because they're going to hear the message over and over in a multitude of different ways. So let's see. I bet you didn't know that. I think this is check out this video. This is with Farrell Sherrow. Somebody jokingly comes in and I think says they're L. Ron Hubbard reincarnated.
By yourself, you can have a life. You're out of ethics. Anna flies on my. Hello.
All right, I like that one.
Are you here for? Oh.
I am L. Ron Hubbard. I'm a 5th reincarnation.
Then you're my daddy.
Have you seen South Park? The South Park episode?
My dad was friends with L. Ron Hubbard, so
yeah,
I've seen that.
Oh yeah. Do you know?
Oh, you're out ethics. They won't let you in. Call your mom. You better call your mom.
That's everything I know about Scientology. I learned from South Park.
It's worse than that. It's way worse than that.
Actually,
Just check with SPTVfoundation.org, and they will give you all the help.
I love that that's being shared. I'm surprised they're not making him tuck in his shirt. That's actually a uniform violation. I'm pretty sure we were not allowed to do that, but maybe he gets to for some reason. Point being, though, all kinds of people are out in Austin for a Snappy Pearl Fest this weekend. There's going to be a lot to follow, so make sure, go check down below in the description of this video. You'll see links to all of them, so you can follow those streamers as well. And while you're watching it, if something stands out, you go, oh my gosh, see something, Say something. I need to email Natalie at lifeafteroccult.com with a link, with a timestamp. Tell me what I'm looking at. Better yet, if you can clip it, if it's a minute or less, send the clip. I appreciate that so much. It really helps, especially since I've been traveling. Yes, Jay, that outfit. That is, yeah. Lord Bynum vest over untucked shirt is a look. It is a look. It gives a vibe, but I'm pretty sure it's a uniform violation. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be tucked in there. LA in Toronto. I was educating my kid about Scientology, and she gave it right back to me. She said, "We all saw South Park, Mom." Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, right? That outfit, but tuck in the shirt. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised he was allowed to walk out like that. Oh, no way, no face. Elron Liar, he was chalking today and guy tried to steal his sign. Was guy a Scientologist or a passerby? If anybody saw that too, send me a link or send me a clip. I'll try and find it later too. Wow, because Elron Liar is in St. Louis, if I remember correctly, right? Hey, Nancy, let me know if anybody's live. Brenda, the elderly may be reachable. Cult of Scientology, you know, they're not getting help from Scientology. That is very true, actually. That's very true. Amy says, seeing what's going on in LA is like watching the movie Escape from New York. Oh my goodness. That is true. That is true. Amber says, I didn't get routed out. I got kicked out because then when they were tired of looking for me when I would run away. Yeah, my sister did that too multiple times when she was a teen. She would run away and security would be deployed to go find her and her friend. Nisa has a question. Why refuse help when it's being offered to you, especially when your leader is being selfish and there are no religious services? Exactly. Technically, they get by on the religious services because it does involve training. And in Scientology, the schedule they're giving for them, their religious services, is basically the schedule of the course room. So I'm like, okay, but frankly, I'm like, why did it take them so long to even get to that point? Right. You know, I don't know. I just feel like you can tell that Scientology is not being run with any thought or even the Osa, wake up, Osa, wake up. Even the Office of Special Affairs, it's not very like thought through. It's just very reactionary and random, some of the things that they're doing. And that's no surprise because they're very understaffed. So you guys got to cut Osa some slack. They're very understaffed. They're overworked. They're not getting enough sleep. You know, I'm sure they would love to spend, you know, that's why I try to provide some humor even for them because why not? Show them how good life is on the outside. We'll take care of you. Yes, we will. You know what? I'm crazy in head. Yep. Cult of Scientology isn't even being run with a brain cell. That's so true. It really gives that vibe, right? It really gives reactionary. It really gives like we're in the middle of a divorce. Like you just don't know what's going on. One hand doesn't know what the other one is doing. We see that. We see that. Yeah, Jeanette, exact good point. Whoever is still in has burnt out. I think so. I think so for sure. I'm going to look something up here, you guys. Let's see. Auditing Scientology. Oop, let me see if I can grab that link. Nancy put it in there. Can I grab it? Hold on. Let's see. At Auditing Scientology. There we go. Okay, so Kansas City, if you guys look at this, this is Auditing Scientology in Kansas City. Open. Who looks like they are, is this live? Yep. Yay. Everybody go raid Auditing Scientology at Auditing Scientology because we are wrapping it up here. But before you do, hit that like button, check your subscribe. I'm flying back today and I'm going to get back to doing interviews. I'm so excited. I'm going to be chatting with the bad cadet. We're getting something worked out with her and multiple other people. So check your subscribe. Hit that like button, head over to at Auditing Scientology. Let's go over there and do a big Natalie raid and show them some love, see what's happening. It looks like there's some chalk tech going on. Looks like they're putting the number for the SPTV Foundation. This is fantastic. And while you're there, be sure, look, I'm going to like the video right now. I am already subscribed. And remember, today is the anniversary of the release of Dianetics. So there's going to be a lot of, you would expect some action for Scientology being out and about today, but maybe not, maybe not. And Sciento is exactly that sad hot mess of a dad who's getting a divorce. Or mom, let's not be sexist. It could be either one. It could be either one. Farah, you are welcome. The SP chef maybe is like the three-face in Hercules sharing one eyeball, but only in Scientology because sharing one brain cell. So Scientology is sharing one brain cell. That's hilarious. I love that. I'm just watching her with the chalk there too. Keep heading over. Natalie raid over there. I'm going to go over there and watch while I get things packed up. And then I'm going to be heading to the airport and flying back to Minnesota. Oh, Steph22 says Kelly Copter is killing it with her 80 song lyrics. Did she do a new one? I need to see that. I want to see that. I see you guys all jumping over there. Keep going. Keep going. Head over at Auditing Scientology. And I do believe that is in Kansas City. And I've not seen this side of the building. This is new. I have not seen this side of the building. Is this the back side? Interesting. Huh. I'm liking that. Thank you guys for the safe travel wishes. I cannot wait to get home to Tony. And we will do an update on Tony after I get home. I've just needed to get through all of this and then get back home and regroup. He actually is doing his first treatment right now. He actually is probably able to see 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's just probably wrapping up his first infusion. He just started today. And we're going to update you guys more on that later. Oh, okay. Fluffer Squirrel UK saying show some support to Z News, who is in Kansas City with Mike now. She's the creator of SPTV.space. Love that. So yes, XE News. Go check that out too. I love when people come back to their phone too, and there's like a whole bunch of people just in there. So thank you guys for doing that. Go over and show them all some love. Hold on. I need to get back here. I need to get back. All right, everybody. I'm going to be on my way. Remember, if you see something, say something. Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. Please include a link with a timestamp. Tell me what I'm looking at, or a clip if it's a minute or less, or a link to article, whatever that might be. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so glad that you got to come to Hawaii with me. We are going to head home, and I hear the weather's pretty nice in Minnesota, so I'm happy about that. I hope you guys all get out today and have the most amazing cult-free day.